The other day, January 19th, The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster came out. At first, I wasn't gonna get it. I only had $8 in my card, so I actually got Code Veronica because that was on sale for 75% off. The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and at first, I was pretty hesitant about getting The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered because I feel like it was really unnecessary and it just came out at a weird time. I don't know, like the timing was off, especially since recently the cancellation of Fractions 2. And myself as a Fractions player, I even have a fucking Firefly pennant on right now. I was devastated about the news of Fractions because we didn't get that much news about it throughout the year, and then just the sudden cancellation after being promised it would be like this big cool, like, it's like its own narrative and its own thing, and it's unique to like its online experience. And I feel like it didn't even need to be like that much of its own thing. It didn't even need to be its own game, honestly. It just had to be like a mode on The Last of Us Part 2. That's all that was wanted, is The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay, but The Last of Us 1's Fractions mode incorporated into The Last of Us 2. At first, when I first saw No Return, from the start I saw it as Fractions with no sauce, but oh boy, I was half wrong. No Return is actually really good and addicting. I was up till 4 a.m. trying to play each character because I kept dying right before getting to the boss or dying to the boss match, and each time was just fucking painful, and it just brought me back to how Fractions when trying to make it to week 12, because in Fractions you start from week 1, each match is a day, and you do 6 matches a week, build up a colony of survivors, and you're supposed to bring in supplies and keep everybody healthy and not sick and make sure nobody dies. But then you have these set of challenges, and if you don't accomplish these set of challenges, you either get some of your population cut off or your entire population cut off if you don't meet these challenges. And with No Return, it's kind of similar, because with the bloaters as the final boss, after like this, it's 6 matches. It's 6 matches for one run. So right as like you could die, if you die at any of them, you start all over. So it's kind of similar to like if you die from not meeting these set of challenges from Fractions, you start all the way back to day 1, week 1, and you have to go all the way to week 12. And with No Return, each time you die, you just lose your progress, and you have to keep going until you meet each and every single one of your runs. And I feel like maybe down the line they could incorporate whatever was left of Fractions 2 into No Return and just have that as the mode they could update later on and patch, maybe like near when The Last of Us Season 2 comes out, as like a way to hype up the show a little bit, or have something there too before the show comes out, and it'll just be like this cool thing. Because I feel like they could honestly make a really good online Fractions, but they don't have to make it its own game. They still have The Last of Us Remastered for the PS4. They still have the Fractions from that playing, and it's from 2014, and it's currently 2024, and the servers are still going on. People are still on the servers to this day. I'm one of those people who play on this game, and that's 10 years. That's a decade. So you're telling me you can't even like make a mode, like an online mode? It's just basically what you have as No Return, but with like your own character, and it could just be like a default character it gives you, and it doesn't have to be that much, and you just customize them with helmets, clothing, and it'll be like awesome, like how Ellie has a Mortal Kombat shirt and all of like sweaters and like just different like attires. It would work the same way but for online. But I don't know, that's just me being salty for the Fractions 2 being canceled. In total, there are 69 skins that you're able to collect by completing set of challenges and runs. There's a map, and there's 2 sides, 2 paths that you're able to choose. You either go up or down, and if you pick either one, the other one gets cut off. Imagine playing No Return with friends online and then going against like a group of infected, or like the WTF like wolf group, in the game, and it'll be cool, like, because you have your custom suits in your class and be able to like go against the infected together, and it'll be like really unique, and I feel like that would be like very scary, honestly, especially with this PS5 definitive version of The Last of Us Part 2. I think No Return is pretty fun and has a lot of cool like modes. It has mods, which is actually pretty cool, and like it makes the game even more challenging and more intense. There's a lot of suspense that, you know, you feel when, especially going against the infected. There's these challenges called gambits where it puts mods into your match. My favorite is the photo filter they do. I have this weird filter I'm showing through the video. Slow motion happens whenever you kill an enemy. There's this one where the infected explode whenever you kill them, and it just does quite a bit of damage to the area. There's these mailboxes where you dump items and supplies in, and you just do a set of those, and you have to complete these gambits, and it's cool because you get extra currency and extra points for when you're back at base. There's not that much difference graphic-wise between The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster and The Last of Us Part 2 PS4 Edition. Obviously, the PS5 Remaster is going to be the definitive way to play The Last of Us 2, and it's mostly how I'm going to play it now. Compared to the PS4 version, it's barely noticeable, but that's not my argument or my point, because when you convert the PS4 version to the PS5, it already switches to 60 frames per second like the remaster. I have a segment of like the making of, and they have these lost levels, 3 of them. I feel like, what's the point of making a remaster that's supposed to be the definitive way to play this game if the lost levels weren't even finished for the remaster? I don't know, but to me that's kind of lazy. I feel like it would have been cool to like have a lost level of Tommy going through Seattle sniping the wolf members, and like his way, his progression through Seattle. I feel like that would have been a cool addition to The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster, but you know, like with the lost levels being unfinished, I just feel like that's yeah, like there were lost levels and there were drafts, but I feel like you couldn't even like finish them for the remaster, the definitive version of this game. I know I'm like kind of nitpicking, but it's also like, I feel like if you're making this the definitive version of the game, then make it the definitive version of the game, you know? Like, yeah, it's $10, but that's if you own it and already have a PS5. If you don't own the game, it's $50, which is actually better compared to The Last of Us Part 1 remake. Because that is at 70, or at retail when it first started, like 70. I don't know how much it is now, or if it's still at 70. But yeah, but it makes more sense because that is a whole remake of the game. But it doesn't have fractions, the online mode in that they had in the original, which is also like you're kind of getting a game for less because you're missing an entire mode, but you're also getting like this big graphic enhancement. You're also missing a fraction of the game. That was corny as fuck, but I don't care. Or even have like a level of playing as Jesse, trying to find Ellie through Seattle, and just trying to find, cause like motherfucker had to catch up to Ellie. Ellie left. Motherfucker had to like go and find her. Like, that was not easy. You know how many buildings she went into? You know how many like places like they've gone? The guitar mode is pretty cool. I had a fun time with the guitar mode. I had this red visual of Joel with the guitar, and I thought it was pretty cool. I need to unlock more because I didn't get to play. Well, I did play. I just need to learn how to unlock the guitar skins and then get more guitars. But anyways, that's what I thought about The Last of Us 2 Remaster. Let me know what you guys think about The Last of Us Part 2. Do you guys think this remaster is unnecessary, or do you guys think this is going to be the definitive version, the superior way to play this game? It is. I think it is, but I honestly can. But I'm not going to like suck the dick of Naughty Dog because I'm pissed that they canceled Fraction. I'm looking at you, Neil. I'm looking at you. You're lucky I love your first game and your show. That shit is so raw. And I like your second one too, but not as much as like the first game and the show. And I love Fractions. I'm looking at you. Alright guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go eat my chili cheese fries and my Mr. Pibb that I got. So see y'all later.